Your job as a founder is to talk to your customers who are already paying you and keep finding their problems.
He is a tech entrepreneur building Hala, a platform that offers user a better way to buy and sell anything with their phones.
One of the major reasons why companies fail is because of co-founder conflict. I raised money from family and friends, but I lost the money because my co-founder, Japan, used the money. Money was in Japan. Huh? He had the account that you're collecting.
What are some lessons that you've picked up?
You can separate your product from your business. Visco and Instagram do the same thing. They are photo sharing and editing apps. They have the same features, but they have different businesses. Instagram runs on ads. Visco runs on people paying to edit their picture, and they are successful.
What has entrepreneurship made you? Especially as someone that is building from Africa.
I believe way more in collaboration than building isolation. Assuming
you were starting out Hala today, or you met the younger Marvin, what advice would you have for him?
I'll just tell him to come and listen to this podcast again.
You heard that right? Listen to this podcast again. Welcome, guys, to this episode on Venture Valley. And today I have a very, very special guest. I find him very intriguing. I find his thought process very intriguing. And he has been he's someone I would call contrarian. I don't know if that's what he will use to define himself. But he's someone that is a philosopher, he's a thinker, he goes deep, and he's also a builder, which is the actual reason why we have him on this podcast. And he's been able to build something I find to be very exciting, which is a social commerce platform that we all know him with called Hala. And they have over 50,000 users, and he's going to come for me for saying that because he has his own perspectives, but it's okay. And today we'll be diving into his journey, conversations around technology. If you are someone that is looking to build an authentic product the way it should be built from Africa, you need to listen to this conversation because we'll be diving into it, in the ways that you might have never heard it before. I can guarantee you that you've actually never heard it like this before. So join me and welcome my wonderful guest.
Thank you.
Mr. Marvin Uche.
Thank you.
Of Hala. So Hala, I think I call him Hala. Every time I'm thinking of his name, I want to search for your name. I just put Hala. And then I say, oh no, it's Marvin. So Marvin, you're welcome. I think if you were to introduce yourself to the audience, how would you introduce yourself?
Oh, I like to introduce myself by communicating my personal vision and mission.
Okay, tell us.
Yeah, so visions are not unique. So my vision is to see the kingdom of God established on earth. It's not unique.
Okay.
Yeah. So my mission is not to promote entrepreneurship for the kingdom of God.
Okay. So your mission and vision is tied strongly to your faith.
Yes, of course.
As a Christian, right?
Everybody has faith.
Well, you don't commonly see a lot of people who their business mission is tied to their faith mission.
Yeah. So my faith really helps me see things from the perspective by which I see things. Like it's the importance, it's the reason why I live, or it's the reason why I'm willing to die.
Yeah. It's the reason why you're willing to die.
Yeah.
Interesting. So looking into your journey, right? Let's go back 20 years. What key events, growing up helped build you to becoming who you are today? Like in terms of were there key experiences that helped build you to that you could say I can trace my entrepreneurship gene to this particular activity, or was it just something that happened to you on the way?
20 years ago was when that was 2000 and when?
Yeah, 20 years ago was 2000 and now we're in 2023, so 2003.
Oh, 2003, I think I was in just 3. So I think my journey actually started, I was in boarding school.
Mm-hmm.
I was in boarding school. So in boarding school, you trade with meat.
You trade with what?
Meat.
Meat.
Like food.
Okay.
I'll give you my turkey, so you wash my clothes. Oh, that kind of thing.
Okay.
That was where my journey started. So I was really skinny. And just 3 was actually when my voice broke. And I was really, can you imagine how small I was? I was really tiny. And all my mates were really big and senior. So my voice broke. And then everybody started punishing me. Yeah, because I went home one day and my voice broke. My mom thought it was cough, so I was drinking like plenty cough syrup. So I came back to school and I was really drowsy and stuff. So I was like, oh, maybe I was just sleeping. So that's how my voice broke. But then seniors started punishing me. Then I now figured out how to trade like meats. Okay, I'll give you my meats and I'll not wash your clothes. Like figuring out what really mattered to people.
How to exchange.
Yeah, how to exchange. I think that's where my immediate journey started. And then SS1, I traveled to the UK, like normal summer holiday. Oh, my mom had me work in a restaurant. Yeah. So I wanted to buy a PSP. Yeah, so I wanted to buy a PSP. So before, like from JS3 to SS1, I think PSP came out 2006 or 2000, I can't remember exactly.
Yeah.
So I had a PS1. PS1 was stolen because I used to collect meat for allowing people play my game. So I sneaked in my PS1 to school. Yeah. And then people would play game and then I'll collect their meat for games. So the PS1 was eventually stolen or something like that. So I traveled to the UK and I wanted to get a PSP. So my parents gave me half the money. So I worked for the remaining half in the restaurant. So I was underage, obviously, but I hustled it.
How old were you at the time?
Just SS1, I think I graduated 16, so maybe 14, 15, yeah. So I was underage. I was not allowed to work, but I was able to work in an African restaurant. So the top of the restaurant was they sell normal fried rice and chips, and downstairs was African food. So I figured out how to hustle people, like get money to just add up so I could get my PSP. So I didn't have any money at the time, so I just used all the money, bought the PSP. I bought a pre-owned PSP so I could buy games. Yeah, because I didn't have the complete money. Yeah.
Buy the PSP, then have enough money to buy.
Yeah. So I bought those CDs because I knew that my friends had PSPs also. Yeah. So I needed to figure out how to sell games to them. So I learned how to jailbreak the PSP, bought those CDs, ripped the CDs, and started selling the CDs for my mates in school. Yeah. So that's literally how I started. So I would jailbreak the PSP. So over time, I made that money back by collecting people's pocket money and things back, by giving them PSP games. And throughout our journey, I would stop class, go and start learning. You see, there'll always be batteries because at the time there's something called, forgotten the name of the battery. So you open the battery up and then you change there's a terminal that allowed you to jailbreak the PSP. So I learned how to do it. I failed a few times, like spoiled a few batteries. And then, so I learned how to reconnect the battery. So that's what I was doing, like in primary school, like in secondary school at the time. Jailbreaking PSPs, doing the same thing. I went to see you, and then I realized everybody had iPod touches. Yeah. Hustled, so I was hacking people's iPod touches. I now started selling iPod touches. So I found one guy in Computer Village who was going to be delivering iPods for me because we were not allowed to leave school. Who will be delivering for me. So I would get into him. He will bring PSP CDs because I was doing the same thing like 100 level in CU. Jailbreak, and then I transitioned to PSPs, hacked the iPhones and the PSPs, and then I started selling the game. So by 200, 300 level, and I was known as the Apple guy. Yeah, my friend and I, Damusa. We are known as the Apple guy. So we started doing that, and that's how we were making money at that time. We will go to, another interesting thing that we did was, I was in the science department. So I used to go to the business departments to learn how to talk to people. So we just go and we're learning how to talk to girls and talk to people randomly. Just like practice. Because if you feel like we'll just come back to our CST and nobody will know, like nobody will see us. So during our break periods, we'll just go to the CDS. It was called CDS at the time. And then we start talking to random people, learning how to talk to people, just to start conversations because we just felt like it was going to be a good skill. So I learned that, I'll come back to yesterday. So I think that's how I started practice because I had to be really quiet. So I wanted to practice talking to people. So Damusa was the fine boy with the basketballer. Me, I was just the anyhow guy, but people liked my voice. But I was not as audible as I should be. Yeah, and people didn't really hear me, and I had to be bolder. So I went to CDS to just talk to random people and just. So those are some interesting things I can remember that I think really.
I mean, so that means you've always been a tech enthusiast. I think from a story that you've shared.
I used to spend all my time and money in cyber cafe. I used to live in Lekki in Femi Okunu Estate, and there was one cyber cafe. So I would trek down to the cyber cafe, also spend time. All I was doing was studying PSPs, how to hack the PSPs, games people played, and figure out how to replicate it. I remember when I came to Abuja one time, I went to Zone 4 for the first time because I came to Abuja 2008 after my secondary school. I came to Abuja for the first time, found the Wussein market. So I found one guy that was selling PSP CDs. So I would go to him, use my PSP to rip all his games and give him 4,000 naira. So I'll rip all his games, come back to the estate because I was living in Gariki and start selling those same games to people. So that was I had 3 PSPs. I didn't even know how I got it because some people would leave their PSPs with me. I will now start renting out the PSPs, giving them games, collecting back. So I was just identifying like small opportunities, like as the whole thing flowed, to just make money. And I didn't do it because I wanted to make money per se. Okay. I just cared about the PSPs and I wanted to buy something. Oh, because I want to buy something, so I'll just do it.
So you always grew up with the mindset of create value.
Yeah, if I want something, I will give you my turkey so you can wash my clothes, or I'll give you something so you can do something. Like I just thought about that. This exchange, like that's what money is. Like I'm exchanging value for something. Yeah.
Yes. So I mean, about going to your founding days of Hala.
Yeah.
How did that metamorphose through time from fixing PSPs to now where you are with the social commerce platform? And
so in 20, I did my NYC. It was after my NYC year, I got a job at Due Day. You know Due Day. It was owned by a
discount platform at the time.
So it was a deal site. And I was the head of content development at that time. So they just created a role and made me the...
What did you study in school?
Computer science.
Okay.
So I was managing the contents that you all see on the website. So I was on managing it. So I used to hang around a lot with the sales guys because the sales guys would come to meet me to upload the product on the website. So sometimes when I'm free, I'll follow the sales guys out to figure out why would somebody actually sell their shawarma for 500 naira when the shawarma was actually 1.5. Because I was trying to figure out why somebody would... Because people come to Due Day because they're looking for 500 naira shawarma.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not because they liked like 500 naira shawarma. So why would a business that is selling the products for 1.5 sell their shawarma? So I was thinking about the sales. I used to just hang around with the sales guys. And that's when I realized that people actually care about advertisement and how they pitched. So the pitch was, instead of spending this amount of your budget on social media influencing or advertisement, let's bring traffic to your shop. Let's bring traffic to your shop. And the best way to bring traffic to your shop is for them to actually come and taste your products. They like it, they'll eventually buy the product at full price. So I was doing, and I realized that most businesses didn't have a direct relationship with their customers, like per se. So especially for the ones that we were delivering the products for. So there were physical products that we were delivering. So most of the products that are sold were either services or physical products. So for those physical products, there was no direct relationship with the vendors. Yeah, and most vendors really died that way. Yeah, because repeat customers that's the most important factor for every business. Yeah, it's like it's not one time I just buy your product. So at that time too, I went for a trade fair, and I realized that everybody that went for that trade fair, all the businesses, nobody knew the people they bought products from.
No one knew the people they bought products
from. So for example, I buy bole from. I don't know the name of the person I bought bole from. I don't saw this shop here selling bole. So the point of the trade fair was to advertise yourself. Is the point to advertise yourself or to keep selling your product or to get customers?
Yeah, I think most people wanted to sell.
Yeah, but it shouldn't be that way. Yeah, because after that trade fair, you might sell 100 bole and fish, but who will buy your bole and fish the next day? So most of those businesses died until the next trade fair. Yeah, so and I realized that's how most businesses worked that way, where I just buy a product and there's no repeat customer. So there's no way to figure out a way to connect over payments.
So basically it was more like businesses were having, for lack of a better word, one-night stands with their customers.
Exactly. Yeah, it's one-night stands.
They were not building any sustainable relationship.
Yeah. And
which is actually the lifeblood of any business, right? The sustainable relationship you have with your customers.
Exactly. So Jumia can say, oh, I have 1 million customers because they come to Jumia to buy products from these shops. But no one of those vendors can say, I have 1 million customers. Do you understand? Yes. And they can be 1 million Jumias.
And I think from what you're saying, what makes the difference is the data
Yeah.
that you have of the customer, right?
Yeah, it's just how you connect. Because I also now stumbled on WhatsApp.
Okay.
I stumbled on WeChat, sorry. And I realized that in WeChat, they use WeChat for all their payments, but not because it was a payments platform. It didn't start as a payments platform.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it started as was a competition. There was no WhatsApp in China, and they were using laptops for IM for instant messaging.
Okay.
Yeah, so some Tencent guys created a mobile like IM version of that platform, and so everybody was using that to message themselves. So they now built games. So China has a strong gaming culture.
Yeah.
So they now built games on top of it. They didn't have a business model. So they built games. People are now buying games. So because people could buy games, that process of buying games was what allowed them to build the payments side of you get. So accidentally, they built the WeChat Pay platform. They didn't start by saying, but WeChat allowed everybody to connect. Yeah, so when you go to, so they had the culture of when I go to buy something, I will connect with the vendor. You get, so I can chat with you, and then as they introduced payments, and that became the default payments platform.
Payment platform. Okay.
So it didn't start as a payments platform. It was just a way to just connect for people to just chat to get. So they decided to add all these features on top, like based off that fundamental. If people are connected somehow, then business can happen.
True.
Yeah, if people can connect somehow. So I now realized that we don't have that culture in Nigeria. So I started with a product called Vendor. So while I
Was this after school or?
yeah, this was after due day. So I left due day to figure out that whole, how can all the vendors on due day on all these platforms, how can they connect to their customers directly?
So how long were you at Deal Day?
And I did it for a year and 6 months, I think.
Okay. So basically, it was the curiosity and the problem you saw while at Deal Day that stimulated you to now move to starting vendor.
Yeah, so I didn't have a clear picture of what I wanted to do. It was just a conviction that, if Deal Day crashes, all those people lose all their customers. Or if Jumia crashes, all those vendors lose customers.
Which they eventually did,
Which they
right?
eventually did, yeah.
I think what really happened there? I don't know. I don't know really what happened there, but
They were spending too much money.
you think so?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was there, so I understand how it works.
And has there been any competitor? GG, I think. Is there more?
There's nothing like Deal Day. Deal Day was Groupon for Nigeria.
Yeah, but why is it that? Is it that it doesn't work
I don't think anybody has attempted to
really bring it back?
bring it back. Yeah, because it's not. Anyway, I don't think anybody has been able to see like something like that and just replicate it. I think culture has changed a lot, like since that time. In terms of the way
Yeah, I
commerce
mean, then again, at that time, commerce on other platforms were not as high.
yeah, they were still like, so it wasn't, and because Deal Day failed, I think people were afraid of starting.
Of starting anything
Yeah.
else. Yeah, that's fair enough.
So nobody was really thinking that way.
So,
So
you said a vendor?
I started Vendor because while we were working on just iterating, just thinking about how to just connect customers, we wanted to order food. That's where we were just working. I think I was at Bounty Studio at the time, and I realized that there was no way to find vendors in our area because we are hungry, and then we used to order from in Qatar, and Qatar would take 40 minutes to deliver food at the time. So like so this whole Wusetu like this, there is nobody that's selling food. How do I find the shops in Wusetu that can sell food? Even though, because you can start a food business from your house. Because most of these Instagram vendors, they start with food business from your house.
Yeah, most of them are ghost kitchens.
Yeah, exactly, a ghost kitchen. So how do you find those food businesses in Wusetu? Why do I have to order from Utako? Yeah, because like local commerce, like if I'm in Wusetu, I should be able to buy everything in Wusetu. Yeah, that was the thinking. If I'm in Utako, I should buy everything in Utako. So I didn't believe in long distance logistics. I don't believe in logistics for e-commerce, like spending so much time. I don't believe in that. I believe in local commerce. I know there's a place for it. It's a convenience thing to say, like, which would you rather do? Buy something from a shop in your area or buy something from somewhere far away? Yeah.
I mean, I think generally people who want to buy, people don't care.
Yeah, but the opportunities are not available. That's what I think. So if ShopRite was just beside your house, would you go to another place to buy groceries?
Most likely not.
Because the basic things you're buying, if you're just nearby, you most likely not go. So it's because the knowledge is not there.
Yeah.
The knowledge is not there. If a cleaner, like for example, now, the cleaners in your house, if a cleaner is coming from Maraba to your house and you live in Guzapi, that cleaner, you have to factor in the cost of that cleaner coming to your house. True. But you should be able to find, when the cleaner was near your house, you most likely get more effective cleaning.
And most likely your cost will be lower.
Yeah, so there was this location-based discovery problem that I realized that, if we could figure out how to like connect people locally. I know that other people abroad have tried it, like Foursquare and different platforms like that.
That's true. What happens to Foursquare?
They're still there, but they're powering other platforms.
Okay.
So they're powering other platforms. Yeah, so I didn't at that time. That's how my mind was working. Like, so I was not thinking about payments. How do I just connect people in my area? So Vendor was a location-based discovery platform for shops. Yeah, well, that's what it was. So I lost my co-founder. I raised money from family and friends, but I lost the money because my co-founder jackpot used the money, and money was in his account. I had to restart from scratch.
I don't understand. How do you mean? Like, okay, what happened exactly?
Yeah, so we were collecting money from friends that were abroad. A lot of the money we collected from friends that were abroad. So he had the account that we were collecting the money.
You didn't have the signing.
They're just young now.
Rookie mistake.
They're just doing anyhow. So I trusted him. So at one point I just stopped hearing from him on Slack, and till today I've not heard from him.
Like, okay, was he in the country?
I didn't know when he traveled. He was in the country, we were co-founder.
Okay, so he just traveled.
And I didn't hear from him again.
Huh? How much did he go away with?
That time it was $5,000 or so.
I remember you sent me the deck actually to invest. Yeah. If I had the money at the time, I knew I would have invested in Vendor. Yeah. So because I thought you were going to make me $1 million.
Yeah, so that was what I was. So after that happened, I now had to go restart from scratch. And that's what now became Hala. So I restarted from scratch.
I didn't know that's what happened though, really to you, because have you heard from him ever since?
No, I've not heard from him. I've not heard from him.
Not at all. And you've never tracked him?
Well, I went to his house. His parents just told me, he's in Canada now, so there's no way to reach him. There's nothing they can do now. Yeah, so that was what happened.
Wow. Okay.
So I went again and I started building from scratch again, Hala. Of course, I don't have any technical skill sets. So I think it was 2017 or 2018, I can't remember. Then I just went to Lagos randomly. I'm like, okay, I'm going to figure out how to get new devs. So I went to see you first, because I think OJ of Piggyvest. So that's where I met OJ of Piggyvest. Met him there. I think he was organizing developers and in CU to teach them how. I think it was something, they were starting Hebron Labs at that time. But it was still very early days. So I met him, and then from there I started to find myself in other circles, like developer circles. And then one day, one of my friends' dads has been observing me randomly. He just messaged me like, this thing you're working on, how much do you even need, Seth? How much randomly, is the oldest person to message me. It's like one random man just calling you. So how much do you need, Seth? I just told him, so I found a company that could build basic Hala for me. I was just chats and wallets. They told me, he charged me 3.5 million. I told him, I need 3.5 million. And he just sent me 3.5 million.
No stake, no equity exchange. Just a gift.
I just want my son to just work with you, that kind of relationship. Yeah, I just trust that something must come out of whatever you're working on. That's how you just had that kind of fit. Not like he saw any proof or any.
How did he know you?
He was my friend's dad.
Okay.
So he has just been observing, so he was observing his friends. Is that, what this is your friend doing? So, I remember he was working on something. I don't know. Of course, he's an old man. There's no understanding what was working on. No worry, I was just saying him.
That was a real angel investor.
It was, exactly. Yeah, so that's how I started, the whole Hala journey.
Wow. So, and how is that? This was what year?
This was 2018 or 2019. Yeah.
So you built your first prototype?
Yeah, so I built the first prototype because when you hire a contractor, that's some things I want to do. So we hired people as contract staff to build. They didn't understand the vision of technology.
Yeah, typically, they are what I call guns for hire, or what do you call it, hirelings.
Yeah, so they don't, and especially when you are you're building from a vision perspective. You two are trying to figure things out.
Obviously, because ideas never come fully formed, right?
You're trying to figure things out. So I just hired them to just build like a basic version of that. So at one point when I realized that, these people are not built, I cut off the contracts. So I collected what they had, took the remaining, and then found. So I met one of my friends that from one of those dev meetings who actually went to see it, and then he introduced me to someone. I hired him as contract to finish the work, and I paid him less work. Like, okay, finish it, but I'll be telling you what to build. So I now got Figma. I got Sketch.
Okay.
Yeah, I got Sketch that time. It was a design app. And then I said I was going to start designing myself. So I started replicating Instagram, how Instagram worked. I started copying every app, replicating the designs of apps so that I could design myself. And that's how I became a product designer.
Really?
Yeah, so with YouTube, every day that's what I was doing. Why did they make this decision? Why is this button here? Why is this like that? So I started to understand products thinking by copying other apps, replicating it. So without knowledge, I was designing Hala. Yeah, so I was just iterating. I'll show my friends. I'll put it on my phone and go and show people, how does this work? When they click and they make a mistake, I'll go back and ask why they made this mistake, why did it happen. So that's literally how I learned how to do product design. That's how I learned product design. It's not like I studied or went to a class, just by practically doing that. So I did that, and then I started building Hala. And over time, and I started getting a vision of what it could be.
So the idea never came fully formed.
It never came fully. This is what I was convinced that this is how the world should be. Yeah, people may not see it, but I just think people should be able to just buy things from people.
I think there's something Naval said. Naval said, first-time founders think of production.
Yeah.
Second-time founders think of distribution.
Yeah.
So how did that affect your thinking?
So, like Naval said, distribution is what, if I were to start a new product from today, I agree with Naval. I would rather build the way Flutterwave, Andela, the successful products you are seeing today, they started by distribution first. Even Paystack. So Flutterwave started because, even let me use Team Apt. Team Apt, Tosin was working at InterSwitch. So he was building apps for banks. That was the distribution.
Yeah.
So he designed the PS structure for banks.
For most banks, yeah.
Yeah. So he already had the network, the skill sets, the tech talent, everything. So that was his
data, the experience.
Everything. He knew the business model that could work straight from it. Yeah. So that's what I would do. So if I have a government project, for example, that says, the government wants to build something that can reach 1 million people, and they have the 1 million people, I'd rather build that product for them and then open up that product to other people. That's how I think product should be built today. And that's how I believe founders should think about things today. So your market is not Nigeria. Your market is your distribution. There are 7,000 people in this university. There are 500 people in this school. Or there are 1,000 people in this market. That is how you should think about market today, before you even start building a product. Yeah, that's how I started.
I mean, but looking at your journey so far, I'm talking about do you currently have partners in Hala?
Yeah.
Really? When I say partners, I mean shareholding partners.
Yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm. You think I'm the only one building Hala?
Yeah, I mean, you are the face, I know.
Yeah, I'm the only one. I own less than 40% of Hala.
Really?
Investors, I have co-founders.
So how did you go about getting these people to believe in this vision? I mean, but I guess you started alone, apart from that founder who left you.
I was just communicating how I believe the world should work.
Okay, and then people were coming.
Yeah, it's true. This is how the world should work. Because at the time, other solutions were not even there. I think when I even started building Hala, bank transfers were not even this reliable. It was 85 naira today transfer. There was delay. There was a trust problem. So all the things that have happened right now, these things did not exist at the time. Well, I believed that payments, logistics, all those things are commerce platforms. I believe that GT Bank should be a commerce platform.
I think they eventually evolve into that.
Yeah, I think anywhere people are is a commerce platform.
Oh.
Social media is a commerce platform because people are there. Outside your church is a commerce platform because outside church people will come out. So everywhere people are is a commerce platform. So if you can get 1 million people to your platform to do one thing, that's a commerce platform. You can always sell more things to them.
True.
Yeah, so that's how I believed. And I realized, and I listened to a podcast, and I heard GT Bank was doing 65 billion every day on USSD alone, transfers, like volume. And all they're doing is just payment. Just transfers, so just 10 naira, making on video. Like, there's much more. Like, that's a platform, that's a country.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that's a nation. 3 million people on your platform, that's a nation.
That's a nation, actually.
That's a nation. That's
There are
like
countries that are not even
Israelites.
up to 3 million people.
Exactly. That's a nation. So when God says, I will give you nations, that's what he means. Like, that's how Mark Zuckerberg thinks here. Yeah, he thinks about his platforms like countries. So Instagram is a platform with 200 million people. That's Nigeria. You get, or billions of people. Oh, there are 2 billion people. That's a quarter of the world. That's the biggest nation in the world.
Very true.
Yeah.
And how has challenges? What has been those impactful moments that have redefined the pace at which Hala was growing?
Yeah, so there were things that were slow. And I actually appreciate those slow periods, that things were not working the way I expected. So it allowed me to rethink. Because when things are not working, you begin to slow down and rethink, oh, why is this not working? Should we really be doing this? And the gift of not being out there. Yeah, I think it's a gift.
The gift of obscurity.
Yeah, obscurity, because it allows you to change fast. Because you start having to explain. Oh, my name is no more this, my name is now this.
Yeah.
Oh, my app works this way, is no more working this way. I think it's a gift because people don't know you. So the people that know you, at the time, maybe there are just 1,000 people that know you. So you can easily just move to a new market.
But how did the betrayal of that your partner affect your perspective towards partnership?
It just made me think about more like
And what's your approach towards
diligence.
it? Right?
Diligence. So I started to learn things about proper founder agreements. I don't hold money. Who holds the money? Signing of agreements. No founder holds money, or even a signatory that way. Like 2 or 3 people have to sign. All the basic things, getting a lawyer, all the things you need to do as long as your business is formed. Yeah, start as quickly as possible to register the business. Communicate to your people that it is not your business. It is now our business. It's its own identity.
Yeah.
On its own. So you are just making sure that the identity works. So it separates your personal identity from it. You get? So I'm not the owner of Hala.
Who is?
We are the owner of Hala.
Okay, we are the owner of Hala. Okay.
Yeah, we are the owner of Hala. And all of us have different ownership stakes. So that way, it's not, they're working for Marvin. You're not working for Marvin, you're working for your baby. Like, it's your product. This is your money, this is your time. So,
do you give out employee stock options?
Yeah, we give our employees stock options. So we started learning about vesting clauses, all the things I needed to just learn about, like how proper companies raise, because there's no way we would have gotten money if we didn't have all the structures in place.
Very true. Employee stock options. I mean, that's a thing, but I don't know if that really works in Nigeria.
Yeah, it does. I think the most important thing is that you're friends with people you work with. I think that's the most important thing, especially in the early days as a founder.
That's true.
Because one of the major reasons why companies fail is because of co-founder conflict. It's one of the major reasons. Not because it's a bad business. My co-founder, he's one of my biggest friends, one of my biggest supporters of our marriage. Like, if he breaks up, it's me he calls first. He's not even a Christian.
Really?
Yeah, he's a Muslim. Yeah, but he cares about me. Oh, Marvin, I noticed that, you didn't have TV and your TV was shaky. I sent you TV, or I care about this. How about you come have lunch or something? Like, just this genuine care. Oh, this baby is doing me. Like, you should, a lot of times when you're even working, you're not even talking about work. You're just talking about personal stuff. And then you should be able to switch between, like, fluidly between personal work so they can understand things. So that they can able to communicate, like, their motivations at all times. Or the reason why I'm not working this well is because this babe did me badly. So you can adjust. Or I don't have money. Because all those things really help. Yeah, because employees do not have that relationship with their employers. It's hard for an employee to come and tell you, oh, this happened, this is why I'm not doing this well. Because there's a metric you give yourself. But from a co-founder perspective, you don't give yourself that kind of, you give yourself a lot of free room. Okay, I'll cover for you at this point. I'll cover for you at this point because I understand what's going on. How about to resolve this? Or we give ourselves 2 weeks. Okay, let's do it 3 weeks. Or you get like, so that flexibility, that dynamic comes from the kind of relationship you can have with your partner. And those are the kind of things that are required, like to have a strong team.
I think it was, I don't know who tweeted this, but there's this recent book that came out, Vantage by Olumide Shoyomba. I don't know if you've read it.
I've not read it.
So I'm currently on it. And there was a part he got to in the book 2 of it, because it's like book 1 and 2.
Yeah.
And he spoke about the fact that business partnership is about a genuine, that is as strong, and people should be able to know that both of you actually care for each other beyond
The business.
in terms of what's just being really seeking after the welfare of your other party.
The other person, yeah.
And the person said that is the closest picture, is like, I think the person expresses like in the book, it was like, it's almost, it can make a spouse envious.
Exactly.
Yeah, like that's how deep it can get.
Yes.
Like it can make your spouse envious because of how good you guys are, and how sincerely you guys care for each other.
Yeah. Like, it's so important. Because the success of your relationship shouldn't be tied to the success of your business. It shouldn't be tied to, like, if your business fails, you should be able to say, oh, okay, let's do something else quickly. Or, oh, let's do something else quickly. Or, oh, okay, let's do this small thing on the side. It's just...
To just make money. And
because you generally just care about, like, yourselves, for the well-being of your people and people that invest in you. Even the people that invest in you, especially in the early days, if you don't have a clear business at the beginning. Like, there's this level of care. Even the people that invest in you, you should be very selective, I believe, about the people you collect money from. Like, early days. I don't think you should collect money from YC.
Why?
When you're just starting.
Why?
Yeah, because...
Isn't YC great?
There's a distance now between them. Now. They're not with you. Yeah, because YC puts you on a timeline. There's this pressure. Unless... I don't even think you should apply to YC if you don't have a clear business in line yet. Like most companies, like when Hala started, we didn't figure out our business yet. We just had the conviction.
Yeah, I think most companies never really have it all figured out.
Yeah, but YC doesn't really invest in that at the beginning. They invest in, will this be $1 billion business?
It's fair enough.
You don't know whether it's going to be $1 billion business.
I mean, no one really knows.
Nobody really knows, yeah. Well, those are the things that... So you might have a strong conviction about things. So if you go and say, oh, you want to solve climate change problems, but you cannot figure out how to make it $1 billion business, why is you not investing in it? Yeah.
So, but I mean, looking at your journey, right, with Hala right now, I mean, you guys are how many years now?
Yeah, we're about 4 years.
4 years.
Official, like the co-founding team.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a lot.
Yeah.
What are some lessons that you've picked up from building, and what are some failure lessons, if you don't mind sharing?
Yeah, failure lessons, okay. I'm very, very...
Yeah, very, very...
I'm interested in failure lessons. I don't think... Number one, don't build... Like I said earlier, don't look at any other thing. Don't look outside about how businesses or products should run.
That's like, when you say don't look outside, you mean like outside of where?
Like social media, the events, forget those things, in my opinion. You can go and get inspiration, but don't define your company based off how another business works. Yeah, don't even name yourself a startup. Like, it's one of the things just try to figure out a business. And the most important thing that should matter is, this number of people who want it, this product. And it's such a big pain point that they're willing to pay for it. Yeah. So these people that have this strong pain point, are they up to 10,000? Do they know themselves? How can we connect them together in a way that they can tell themselves about this, they can share it with themselves? That, this is a problem you have. For example, if you're building for nursing mothers, you need to find where nursing mothers are and figure out a product for them. And how can you bring nursing mothers together? Yeah. One of the products I really like is Flow Up, because I track my wife's period.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a community of women who anonymously share their period stories, pregnancy. Me as a guy on the app, I'm really like, they are not targeting everybody. You can see there's a clear problem there.
It's a clear community.
It's a clear community. Yeah, and it's big. You can tell, there are many women who want to anonymously talk about the issues that they have. So anywhere in the world, whether you're Nigerian, Africa, America, you can find other people with different, whether you're Christian, Muslim, or you believe in God, needs oxygen. The people that need oxygen are sick people. It's everywhere, but the people that need oxygen are the people that they have lung issues, but oxygen is everywhere. So you need to figure out how to target. So in the case of Facebook, billions of people on this platform. But what is the product?
Advertising.
It's advertising. So the product is actually user data that's been refined in a way that you can give them specific targeted advertising. That's billboards that any other thing cannot do. That's what people pay for. Who are the people that want this? Advertisers.
Brands.
Yeah, do you get? Brands are the ones that do it. So, but how do you move? So as a visionary, you can think about your product. I want to connect the world. But that's not a business. Connecting the world is not a business. Yeah. But advertisers pay for users' data, that is the business. Will the product, which is the people's data, are they going to be willing to open themselves to be advertised to? That's what you need to figure out. Yeah, that's what you need to figure out. So understanding this thinking early on is very important today. Because we can look at, AI is trending. But is that the product? Who are the people paying for ChatGPT? My wife is not paying for ChatGPT. But she uses ChatGPT every day. But she will never pay for it. So people that have hard questions, they are real professionals that need to code. Those are the people that will not pay for ChatGPT.
And I think the daily use of ChatGPT by what I'll call pedestrian users is actually what makes it better.
Yeah.
For the sophisticated users.
Yeah, you get. So 100 million users does not mean those are 100 million customers. 100 people use this product. Or maybe just 100,000 people pay for ChatGPT.
100 million users does not mean these are 100 million customers.
Yes.
I mean, that's very true.
Yeah, because customer is the person that is paying for your product.
Yeah.
Now, let's say 100,000 people are the ones paying for the product. Is the money you're making from them able to sustain the cost of running this platform for 100 million people? You need to make that decision. Yeah, do you really need 100 million people to serve 10,000, if those 10,000 people are paying? So these are some things you need to think about. What is the difference between my products and the business? Who are the customers? How can I find customers in this place? Who are people that really, really care enough that have a pain point that will pay for it? Yeah. So understanding this line of thinking, if I knew this in 2017, I would have done things a lot differently. Yeah, I would done things. It's one of my biggest failures. Yeah, but my vision, just like Mark Zuckerberg says, I want to connect the world.
Right. So what's yours?
Yeah, I want to connect the world for business. That's Hala's so I can give everybody equal opportunity to start a business online and connect them to customers directly. That's how we communicate the vision of Hala. Well, who we pay to connect to customers that way early on? Are people willing to pay for it in this market? No. Yeah. So also another thing is looking at other products as inspiration for your business. I think is wrong sometimes because, for example, to be clear, Pocket is not my competition.
Okay.
Product-wise, they do the same thing. Yeah, it's social commerce and payment. But they offer free payments. Payment is not their business.
I wonder what their business is.
Your business is piggyverse business, it's deposits. So it's a funnel. Pocket is a funnel for piggyverse main business. You just want people to leave money within the system.
They want it.
So instead of withdrawing your money from piggyverse to GT Bank, leave your money with us and we'll give you a free spending app. That means their business is not transfers or payment because they're doing free payment. Do you understand? So it's a product that people want, which is free, so that piggyverse users can leave more money in the piggyverse system, which they will now use to do their investments.
So it's a double play strategy.
Yeah. So the more money is an asset under management business. People just leave their money here so they can use their money to do business.
That's true.
So me now that I don't have that AUM business, that means piggyverse is not my competition. But product-wise,
It looks like they are your
It
competition.
looks like they're my competition. Do you understand? So that's why I say you can separate your product from your business. Visco and Instagram do the same thing. They are photo sharing and editing apps. They have the same features, but they have different businesses. Instagram runs on ads, data and mining. Visco does not. It runs on people paying to edit their pictures, and they are successful. I don't know their number, but I think it's over 6 million people pay for Visco.
Wow.
It's a successful business.
That's actually a very successful business.
So in dollars. That's a successful business. But they launched almost at the same time, Visco and Instagram. But they are two different businesses. You can share pictures, share videos. People can comment, like, repost, do all those things. But they are not the same business. So understanding these things, like the dynamics of these two things are they are really, really important. Yeah. So also, if I had a Cheryl early on, I think we'll have been in a much better place. Someone that will say, oh, I understand your vision, yes, keep working on your vision, but this is the business. And then both of us come together to make decisions on product direction. Yeah, because if you leave just the visionary, connects the world person, you will build, though, there are always things to build. Yeah, but it's not everything that will make money. So your decisions have to be made. That's why all the features on Instagram and Facebook, they are both tied to more creators promoting so that they can make more money from advertisers. Yeah. So when they look at their competition, they look at the business or how it's affecting their business. Yeah. So TikTok now is Instagram's competition, not because of its features, because people are spending more time on TikTok.
Yeah, obviously. I mean, the fact that people have that much dwell time.
Exactly.
That's typically what brands are looking for.
Exactly. And time is a limited resource.
Yes.
Everybody has 24 hours a day. So if I spend 30 minutes more or 1 hour more on TikTok than my platform, I mean, that platform is winning my funnel for my business. That means my customers will leave my platform and go to that platform to advertise. And that's why Reels was created, not because of its feature set per se.
That's the reason what?
That's why Reels was created.
Reels, yeah.
Yeah, not because of its feature sets, not because of short form videos. No. Because people are leaving my platform to go and spend more time here. That's a problem.
So I might as well get them to spend more time here with the same trigger.
Netflix too, look at Netflix's thinking. Netflix, they think their competition is sleep. Sleep. That's their competition.
That's so funny.
So sleeping and gaming. So entertainment is their business. So when you're not being entertained, do I want to watch a movie or should I sleep? Do I want to watch a movie or should I play games? Netflix now puts games on Netflix. So you can see they're thinking, because they don't want you to leave the platform to come so that you can do more subscriptions. Yeah. So understanding business models too, they're very key. Understanding different types of problems, or what kind of problems are unworkable. You get problems that are really, really, really hard to solve, or that problems that nobody's thinking about. So understanding how to classify your problem. Those are really important things I think people should learn.
I mean, but I think what you've said is really powerful. I mean, Hala is doing very well. You guys are doing 50,000 users. Although you choose to disagree on its relevance, and just like you mentioned, it's actually the truth.
Yeah.
There's difference between users and customers, right?
Yeah.
Users help us with form of validation, and I think it's a foreign concept.
Yeah, it's not in Nigeria. It's not an African business concept. An African man does not care that 1 million people are coming to a showroom and is not selling any car. Like Coach Cherish will close down the shop.
Yes.
If 1 million people are passing through Coach Cherish, snapping, Coach Cherish is finding vehicles, but nobody's buying the vehicle.
You might as well start charging people to come and take pictures.
Exactly. You get. So you know that, okay, I'm charging people to come and take pictures. That's what your business is. So this whole idea of, I want to get 1 million, 2 million users, I think scrap that first. Yeah. Figure out how to get 1,000 people paying you 1,000 naira every week. That's 4 million naira. Yeah, okay, they can't give me 1,000 naira. So you're not thinking about their spending power. Okay, I can figure out how to make 250 naira. You sachetize it, because Nigerian was sachetizing. So, okay, I'll sachetize. I'll make 250 naira per week. Yeah, 250 naira. That means, okay, I won't be able to make that 1 million. I will need more customers to be able to hit my goals. So thinking this way is much easier to think about, like, your business as you go, like, over time. So if I thought about that, I don't really care. Like users, I don't want users. Like what people are doing, like this year, in the past 6 months, what we've been doing at Hala is removing features that people do not use. Like we started, people do not use this feature. We start to clean it, remove it, deprioritize it. And you will know people are not using it by how much they miss it. I bet WhatsApp did not know that people were searching as much for people on WhatsApp status when you removed it. Or see Twitter, bring back the search bar. Jonathan, they removed it. It turns out, people will most likely not notice because they're trying to figure out their business in channels. You know that when you remove a feature, people don't even miss it. You know that you wasted time building this product, or it's not a valuable resource.
That's very true. I mean, one must be building and getting data on.
Exactly. Like A/B, all these big platforms, they do A/B testing. So they release features to a certain number of users, and they test how this certain number of users use it. They even test it in particular markets to see how it actually eventually help their business.
And sometimes they do comparisons.
Exactly. So people are shouting, "Oh, why did Twitter remove Fleet at that time?" It was not because it was not a good product. It was because it didn't help their business goal. So the business goal was, how do you help new users post more? Because Twitter had less people posting, now more people were consuming, and less people creating content. So if you can allow people post more easily without them thinking about what to post, that's why they release Fleets. But the new users were not posting. Only old users, which are plenty, were posting. And they were already tweeting too. So there's no point, so they removed it.
That makes sense. I think also there's something there's a quote that I love so much. It says that entrepreneurship, the reward of entrepreneurship is not just necessarily the money you make.
Yeah.
It is by who you become in the process.
Yeah.
Who have you become in this process so far?
Me?
And who are you becoming? What has entrepreneurship made you? What are some things that it has brought out of you, and how has it formed you? Especially as someone that is building from Africa.
It has made me more... Well, I know how to make better calculated risks. Yeah, so entrepreneurship is taking risks, yeah. But I know how to bet on better risk. I know how to make better decisions when it comes to risks. Like that's what my journey at Hala has been. So from losing a founder, all those kind of things, I understand risks better. Oh, is this risk worth taking? I don't do crypto. Yeah, I don't do crypto because I don't like to dabble in things I don't understand fully. Yeah, I try to understand the fundamentals, like the basics of how things work. So I don't do crypto because I believe money is just an agreement. Yeah, so how many people at scale agree? And money needs to be spent, not held. Yeah, so if there are more people holding this currency than spending it, that is a problem.
That is actually a problem.
Yeah. So yeah, the success of this currency is that this amount of people are holding it or they are buying more of it. I don't believe that is something I should invest in.
True. I get what you mean.
Yeah. So I get the risk of it's a high risk investment. So I understand how it works. For me, I can charge you for buying crypto. Do you understand? I can work in that crypto space and say, I charge you for buying crypto.
But you will not necessarily invest in it.
Yes, I will not necessarily invest in it. Crypto betting, these things. Betting is high volume, but another thing, because I'm a faith, I believe, looks like my vision. I don't believe in the kingdom of God will be betting. Yeah, because that's not what the Bible says. Like, you don't make life decisions based off tossing coins.
Yeah.
Yes. There has to be something concrete.
So, besides the fact that it has also shaped your ability to see the world differently and make decisions, how do you think it has also affected the way you relate with people?
Yes, it does. I believe more now in community than ever. I believe way more in collaboration than building isolation. I believe way more. There are 1,000 people building in the same markets. Find all of them and build together.
Shared economies of scale.
Yes, build together. If all of you are selling Super Yogo, sell Super Yogo. Let people know that this is the place to come and buy Super Yogo. And find your 500 customers.
Instead of building in isolation and everyone is starving.
Yeah, everyone is
when if we
starving.
had come together, we would
Come
have
together.
that shared.
Yeah. One person may not realize that, I may not be able to organize Super Ego, but I can supply the bikes. Or I can supply the ice block. I don't need to, that's my skill set. I'll supply the ice block to one person. Not all of us need to sell Super Ego.
I agree.
Or I can do the printing or the packaging.
But what's Hala moving towards right now? I mean, you spoke about the prioritization of futures.
Yeah.
What are you looking at right now for Hala? What's the future looking like?
Yeah, so we still see ourselves as a commerce platform. Yeah. So it's like, I think I talked about it at TMCon. We are like a Jabilic mall. So what we've done is to build a Jabilic mall. Where everybody knows they come to Hala to buy stuff from the shops they want. So now we are setting up shops to sell the products that people want on Hala.
Wow.
So one wallet, one KYC, so it's a convenient way to buy everything. That's really what I do. So next year now is us. So what you're going to talking about Hala next year is not Hala itself, but the shops on Hala.
Okay. So more like giving the shops a platform.
Yeah. So we are going to start building our own shops. So just like people do not go to Jabilic Mall because of Jabilic Mall. They go because of ShopRite.
Yeah, they go ShopRite. They go because they want to buy something from one of the stores.
Or you want to watch a movie from here. Yeah. So people will not come to Hala because of the Hala name. In fact, the Hala will take his own backseat. But Hala is the best experience to buy sauce and soup products from this shop. Yeah. So next year we are building shops. So we've built the foundation for us to build multiple applications
on the platform.
So for example, if you want to get a virtual card, and you want to set up, you can set up on Hala without those users having to figure out how to do KYC, fund a wallet. We just share that information with the customer, and they just buy the products directly. Yeah, so that's how we are thinking about it.
But I think with what you are building in Hala, do you face any threats from existing e-commerce platforms?
Our biggest threat is the mindset of people. And that's Instagram. So Instagram is popularizing social commerce, but they are not a social commerce business. Yeah, so people use Instagram for social commerce because anyway people are commerce will happen. Yeah, but they are not a social commerce business. Based off the direction that we are going, we are not looking at it from a marketplace perspective anymore. Yeah. Okay. So our business is not Hala the platform. Our business is the products that we are selling through our own shops on Hala. Okay. So we are setting up our own shops that sell food, shops that sell utilities, shops that sell things. So people come for the things they want and they may never use the marketplace features. But we know that we are selling this to 5,000 people every week.
So it's more like you've created an atmosphere for all of the businesses for you to come and socialize and do your normal business, but also you are also a player in that market.
Yes, so we want to be the player. So we've built our own Jabilic Mall. Now we are setting up ShopRite.
Okay, well, I don't know if that's a perfect example, but I get what you mean. I mean, looking also at the technology environment right now in the country, in Africa, what are some things that you're excited about and what are some things that are scaring you?
Yeah, so AI is the biggest trend right now.
Yeah, I think AI is
the biggest trend, and large language models. And good thing about I think I'm going to work on education soon, like when I'm done, and because I don't understand why we spend 21 years in school. Yeah, I think I communicated that with you earlier. It shouldn't be more than 15 years or less. We should reduce it. Like the success that we are seeing from it.
Well, maybe you could see for some fields, because I mean there are specialty fields that need those years,
Africa.
like medicine, like
pharmacy. I'm trying to paint a picture. In Nigeria, the Nigerians die. The average death age is about 55.
Yeah, 55, 60.
Yeah, so you spend half your life trying to figure out how to get a job. So you only have 25 years to start. So it's not from age 26 to 20. You only have 25 years left to figure out how to have a good life. That's a big problem. Like, you know, explain how.
So, but your perspective towards the time spent in school, is it based on is based on what? Are you bothered about just the time, or are you bothered about the effectiveness of the time?
Yeah, is it time? I think we waste a lot of money. We waste a lot of time and money on regular school. And school is very expensive now. So those are one of the biggest problems. Like looking at it, we spend a lot of time. Anybody that can reduce the amount of time we spend in school saves people a lot of money because people don't have money. Yeah, to go to a good school.
I mean, most of the universities are still subsidized, right? So.
Yeah, but so if you want to go to a private school, now, you spend 2-3 million a year, apart from other expenses, and then in 4 years you spend 12 million. That's apart from other expenses. AI has the ability to reduce all of that. Right? Reduce all of that. Like just saying it from just a general, looking at it from a generalized perspective, has the ability to reduce because it's an information, entering into a strong information economy, meaning what will separate me now is not the amount of information I have, but what I can do with the information.
True.
Yeah, because what separated people from a doctor now from a regular person was that, doctor knew the kind of drugs to take. Now AI can tell me the drugs to go and buy.
Well, I don't know. I don't know if we've gotten there.
No, I'm just looking at it from a general perspective. Like, what can happen in 5 years? Yeah. So, would I go to? I'm having some symptoms. This thing the AI, whatever you do with all the details, because there are going to be brain-computer interfaces. So something that will connect to your body, that will connect to computers. So the AI will read your body directly and understand your symptoms better than a doctor would. Yeah. So devices will connect to your body. It will understand symptoms better than a doctor would. And it can come up with better things that the doctor... Would you spend that time going to the hospital?
That's scary. And that's exciting. So
that's I'm trying to paint a picture. So this can apply to so many other fields. Yeah, even sharing information. Like, for example, the gospel. You can... I was talking to someone. If I can tell AI to comb a sermon and convert it to a book, that's value for me, man. And then convert it to all the languages I want in one click. Imagine the amount of time, resources, everything you've saved. Yeah, so those are one of the benefits of AI at scale. So information now becomes less valuable or more accessible. Yeah, and then it's now the application of the special information that will make you distinguish you from your peers. Person, yeah. So all of us know the same thing. But what do I do with what I know? What can I do with the information that I have? So that's when we begin to see the real skill set. And what actually, to bring up that ability to come up with distinguishing a different way of thinking, it has to start very early in a child's life. Like from primary school, secondary school.
I get what you mean.
Yeah.
I get what you mean.
Reduce it, make it more so people will get better jobs. Yeah, there'll be new jobs, people will start new kinds of businesses, there'll be new solutions to things. Ultimately,
I think you have a great expectation for the future.
Yeah, I think the future is always good. Like Elon Musk says, the future should look like the future. So we need to start thinking like the way the future should be. Because Nigerians now, I don't think a lot of Nigerians are thinking about how should the future be. Most Nigerians are thinking, how should I survive today?
Yeah, survival mode.
Yeah. So we're not giving a lot of people the opportunity to think about how the future should be. Yeah, and if we don't think about it, we are still going to remain the same way we are, like Africa compared to the world. Yeah, so but Africa has the opportunity to compete with the world now because of things like AI.
Yeah, I mean, the ground has been a bit...
Yeah, it's leveling now, exactly. Yeah. So we now have the ability to say, and the government still has a huge role to play, of course, like giving basic infrastructure, because the government just needs to just give us power and good roads so that at least...
I will sort ourselves out, actually.
If you just come and don't say, only power, I'm not solving corruption, I'm not solving anything, I will give you people 24 hours light. I will vote for you 100 million times. I will hack the INEC to make sure you win. That's how I just generally think about like the future. We need Nigerians thinking more about how the future should be. So I think AI is playing a good role. We're going to see more local investments, I think, because people are going to be thinking more in naira than dollars. Yeah, I raised 50 million naira. Is what I think we should start saying things like that. I raised 100 million naira.
I mean, it's better we take our investments in naira.
Yeah, you get. So this man now wanted to build his house for 500. You know that the money exists. People are building houses for People are buying houses for 500 million.
1 billion.
1 billion, 2 billion. So instead of building a house, how about I spread this money?
In tech.
You get to people that actually have good businesses. You get and figure out how to scale it. Because it's real estate people that invested in early Silicon Valley.
Really?
Yes. Where do you think the money came from? The early companies. Oh, they started investing in Silicon Valley real estate, investing in these companies instead. And that's how everything transferred, yeah. So I think it's going to happen. We're going to see more local investments.
I mean, I actually hope so. But what are you seeing in the tech space amongst the business people that excites you or scares you?
In Nigeria?
Yeah, in Africa, yeah.
Well, in Nigeria, I think Chowdeck. I like Chowdeck's move, what's going on with logistics. Like showing that logistics can be great.
Okay.
I'm afraid of logistics. I have just this fear.
Yeah,
Because I have friends that started logistics businesses.
Because of how rough it can be.
Yeah, it's very rough. They can stab the bike man, the renting, steal your bike anywhere. But they've proven, and they're showing that I don't know about their business until I can actually see the numbers. I don't know if they're successful. I understand the product. I know if I want to order something. I know that it's a convenience business. So that's why I may be worried about that because I don't know the amount of people who are willing to pay 2,000 naira to order things from ShopRite. That's convenience.
That's convenience.
Yeah, so I don't know the numbers. So you can process 1 billion naira. That does not mean you're successful.
That's all.
It's just processing numbers. Yeah. So I don't really know their numbers, but I'm excited about like what's possible on that front. I think more people will begin to build more commerce products.
Commerce.
Yeah, more like direct commerce. So the traditional, you see apps that are selling bread online, selling things, because that's how China behaved. The innovation began to become, I'm digitizing this offline thing I would normally do. So very traditional ideas become digitized and they'll become businesses. And that's how they change the norm of how things work. I think that's how the innovation will be. So less people are going to be thinking about crypto because you're not going to be getting as much foreign investment. So you have to solve local problems.
True.
And innovate around that. And then you're building in Nigeria for people abroad. So those kind of things.
And if you were to go back to assuming you were starting out Hala today, or you met the younger Marvin, what advice would you have for him?
I'll just tell him to come and listen to this podcast again and just hear.
You heard that right? Listen to this podcast again.
Yeah, so those are the kind of things because there's a lot of thinking. Slow down, have more, find a schedule, talk to more mature people, solve a problem that people actually have today. Don't have a vision at the beginning. Have a business first.
Well, I mean, I would say have a vision, but remember it's yours, so you can edit it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Your vision is always editable. Visions are not unique. Yeah. You get visions should be able to. Visions are not unique in the sense that if only you has that vision is a problem.
It's a problem, yeah. I agree.
Yeah, you should have a vision that is sellable. I want all men saved. That's why all the churches exist.
Yeah, I mean, actually, there's really no vision I've come across that someone else is not currently doing.
Yeah, visions don't have unique visions. Like, should be sellable. Yeah, your mission is what is unique.
That's true.
Yeah, your mission is very unique. Instead of my mission is to train people so that they can evangelize more effectively. My mission is to heal the sick at scale on YouTube, so that you get different people will play different roles. All of us have the same, so different missions. So find a business, find a mission. Make sure that your mission is business minded as early as possible. So understand who is the business, who is the customer early on. Stick to those people, and those are the people that will tell you the features to build.
Well, they'll tell you where to go.
Yeah, I don't think so. Your job as a founder is to talk to your customers who are already paying you, and keep finding their problems, and keep giving them solutions, and then keep expanding their mind on what is possible for them. Like when it comes to their own desires, how can I help you make more money? You're saving now. I think you can invest and get more interest. We are giving you 5% interest, but I know you want to make money, so I'll give you this kind of savings. Put your money here, you get 10%. We'll call it investment. Put your money here, we'll give you 20%. We'll call it investment. It's still the same thing. It's just creating new.
Friends.
So I believe Like for creators now, the mission of every social media company is the same.
Connecting people.
Yeah, it's just, you want to help creators become more successful entrepreneurs. I want everybody to become a creator so that or have the same access to become a creator as any other person in the world.
That's very true.
That's the same TikTok mission. The same thing.
Same for your Facebook,
Yes, yes,
Instagram, all of them. If you actually just put it on the wall without the logo, you
will
actually
not even know
it
who
can
it is.
actually be anyone.
Yeah, so you can see that they all have, but there's a different business. The business is the same. I'll make money eventually from advertisements. So I need to get as many people. That's why they need as many users as possible. So their own logic for getting user numbers is different from your own logic as somebody that's doing logistics. Online is different. So whether you have 1 million downloads,
So far, you don't have 1 million order.
if you don't have 1 million people
not
ordering
in
your
business,
products, you're
which is
not in business.
That's very interesting. I mean, what are you thinking about the jackpot syndrome that we're experiencing?
Yeah.
And the lack of developers. Some people say they want to start developing, they want to develop a project, but they lack the people that would come in and build these products.
Firstly, I believe it's a human thing for people to go to where opportunities are. People move towards opportunities unless you give them a vision. Yeah. So the problem that we're having in Nigeria is that we don't, like Peter Obi said, Nigeria exists when Nigerians do not exist. Like, what does it mean to be a Nigerian? There's no vision. There is no Nigerian dream. Like, the Nigerian dream is Japa. So we don't have a Nigerian, and so nobody has been able to communicate.
Or that Nigerian
Yeah,
vision
where will I be in
is-
5 years? Where will this Nigeria be in 5 years? America is bad though. They have their own issues. But there's an American dream. They believe that if you figure it out. Yeah, Nigeria does not have that. And I think it's one of the things. Not even just the economy. Yeah, I think everything stems from our leaders not having a vision. Because when you have a vision, the way you act
It's different.
will be different. So the way you act will be different. What you prioritize will be different. So I think that's what's affecting the jackpot thing. So I also realized that people have two different brains. My brain is different from someone that is an employee. Because I have friends, when they talk about, they say, I want to be in Nigeria and earn $100,000, or go to the UK and earn $300,000. Like, that's what they think about. But me, I'm thinking, if I have 3 million people now, how can I sell something worth 1,000 naira to them? So two different ways of thinking.
Same objective, but
Same,
different
I'm
roads
thinking
and
about money.
approaches, yeah.
So someone says, if I'm earning $100,000 a year in Nigeria, I think I'm good. Yeah. But me, I'm like, if I find 100,000 people that are giving me 1 naira, I think I'm good. Two different perspectives. So me, I'm looking for problems. Them, they're looking for solutions. People who have solutions you get. So they're just two different mindsets. So more people are shifting. So we've been trained as Nigerians to move into I want to join the employee market and just solve
So
that.
typically, we are not necessarily coming with a mindset to add value.
Yeah, we're not going to just, make money, pursue other people's dreams. And this might not be good for Nigeria because every nation survives by its businesses. Like the people that
its
are
own
adding
people.
value.
That's why we measure gross domestic product.
Yes. So so if more people are not thinking about productivity within the nation, it's a bad thing. It's a red flag. That's what makes nations poor. So the poverty is not just like economic poverty; it's a productivity poverty.
Like the fact that we're not making the best of what we have.
Yeah, you have resources, but you're not doing anything with it. Yeah. So everything all boils down. I disagree with Ian that the people can solve these problems on their own. Yeah, because yes, it's harder to do that. You have to be an outlier. Those are outlier perspectives. Yeah, but the leaders, it's leaders that create the vision. Like, I've not heard my president come and say something to me. I'm like, it's possible to this nation. They are going somewhere. I've not heard that. So there's nothing inspiring. The only inspiring thing I get now is my relationship with God.
Fair enough.
Nothing else inspires me. So that's one of the reasons why I see the kingdom of God. Because at the end of the world, as we see it, money will not be a problem anymore. It will be a value exchange thing. And that's where the kingdom of God is going to be.
Wow. Thank you so much, Marvin. I think before we leave, I would like you to tell us how can people watching this stay connected with you and the project that you're building and
Yeah,
be part of it.
I'm most active on Twitter, Marvin Uche on Twitter. Yeah, and I think that's my most active platform. You can DM me all the time. My DMs are open all the time. I actually enjoy the DMs. Yeah, I like to answer questions, see things from different perspectives. I don't argue on social media. So, but I'm willing to, if I see something wrong about you, I will DM you and we'll have this conversation. And I change my mind easily. So, I like Twitter.
You're committed to truth.
Yeah, committed to truth.
So, question: if you could be the rapid fire, really, if you could be the inventor of social media or the internet, which will you be?
I'll be the inventor of WhatsApp, specifically.
I say social.
Yeah, because social media is in the middle of, social media is the internet for most Africans.
Yes, typically.
People
So
don't know-
you'll be the inventor of WhatsApp.
Yes, and I would, with a different business model,
Really, what would that business model be?
pay for WhatsApp.
Will people pay for WhatsApp?
They would. It's an
But
essential
won't they
product.
pay after using it, or will they pay before using it? Because let's not forget you have other competitors in the space.
It's a first mover advantage now. It's like saying, yeah, that's the problem with the ads business. Most of the internet runs on ads, so people think that's how businesses should run. People will pay for WhatsApp because it's an essential product. People pay for WeChat. You get they built a traditional.
I know, but
payment
it didn't
business.
start that way, though.
Yeah, but that was going to be the natural. It didn't run. WeChat's primary model is not ads. Ads can be one of the models. It's like saying DSTV would not succeed if it's not free. DSTV is successful because and they still run ads. When you're watching the football, they will play the ad.
Yeah, they still play.
Okay, so ads shouldn't be the primary business model of the internet. It should be transactions. If you value something, you pay for it. WhatsApp is meant to be the most successful platform in the world, as of today, in my opinion. It's the most essential product in the world. Most essential digital product. My mom, all her life, she has more money than me. People have more money than me. Yeah. WhatsApp. So these are the people, they can pay for it. Even though WhatsApp is collecting 1,000 naira a year, they are a very mighty successful product. Times 2 billion, 3 billion, 1,000 naira, $1 a year. I say people cannot pay $1 a year. A year. What do you need to succeed? So that's 200 billion.
Okay, let me not dive towards it. It was supposed to be rapid fire questions, but
Yeah.
it's like we're starting having conversations. If you were to be let's assume you were let me put it this way. Who is your current I don't want to use the word crush because that's not the right word, but what I mean is who is your current tech, like a tech business and a platform that you're currently crushing on?
Who is Elon?
Elon.
Yeah. I like Elon a lot because he's a great visionary. He says things the way people don't say it, like in terms of how big things can be. He doesn't solve small problems. He solves, like, he communicates his personal mission as, I want to advance humanity. Yeah. So when he was starting Tesla, he didn't start out to make cars. Like, he didn't even start Tesla.
Yeah, he didn't even start Tesla.
Yeah, he went to go and meet people and be like, oh, climate change is a big problem. People should change your business, change to electric cars because this. But the people said the business won't make sense. So he bought Tesla to prove to people that the business can make sense.
Okay, so my final question. If you could be the president of Nigeria for one day and you had a magic wand to change something, what would you change?
Electricity or power.
Interestingly, the last person that was on this podcast said the same thing.
Power.
So just power. Please just fix power.
Power.
All right. Thank you very much, Marvin, for making it. Guys, thank you for joining us on this conversation on Venture Valley. It's really, really phenomenal. I once had a conversation regarding building from Africa. It's in the video below. You actually learn more if you want to watch more about this. And I look forward to seeing you in subsequent episodes. Don't forget to like, follow, subscribe, and share with someone that you know that would have great value from this video just like you did now. Have a wonderful day, guys.